Her voice grows bitter, mocking her own despair. And worst of all, you corrupted him. You twisted the one who still held some shred of pity, some naive belief in mercy, into something just like you. That there is no grace, no guiding hand, no justice in the end, power, only cruelty. And now, because of you, he walks away, laughing at your suffering, just as you taught him to. You turned your last hope into your executioner, and now you rot. Now you sit in the dark, forgotten, with nothing but the echo of your own failures for company. Congratulations, Ranni. And all it cost you was everything.
It has been very long time, absurdly long time, for those who have been cursed by the Grace Chosen touch experience time differently than the others. Ranni is experiencing dreams and all whatnot.
Her mind lost in visions, her eyes vacant. Indeed, how long have I sat here? How long have I been here? How much time has passed for those still in the living world?
I would ask of you. I am no one who asks. It is just emptiness.
She is silent for a moment, then she speaks. You ask, how long have I been here? The answer, I do not know. I know only that it has been too long. Far, far too long. How much time has passed on the outside? How many centuries? Thousands.
Do you feel regret?
She glances at him, her expression unreadable. What does it matter what I feel? What does my regret matter? It changes nothing.
Don't worry not. Your time of waiting is stopped. You hear footsteps and thump from the similar way where Hannes came all those 3 different times. There's somebody once again coming down there 4th time.
Her expression is that of shock and disbelief. Footsteps. What does this mean? Who could be coming this time?
I would, if I were to give my personal opinion, I would, in Ranni's case, start screaming, yelling to free me, and anything that would be kind of a giving this different situation to the very mundanity of the hellish limbo, like state that I would be.
She is utterly still, listening intently to the sound of approaching footsteps. Someone is coming. But who could it be? No one other than the Tarnished has ever come across my prison, and he would not come back. No one has any reason to. No one cares. Could it be? It cannot be.
It is Hannes, but it is not Hannes. It is Hannes with golden light around it. And it has the guilty hood on it and the white simple garment, like a white dress of the common folk of the Ertris culture. It just looks at you.
Her eyes go wide as the figure enters the room. Golden light surrounding it. Hannet, how?
I am projection, Hannes. Hello, Ranni.
She stares at him, stunned. You are a projection? You have returned?
Oh, I am I am evolved projection. Wait little bit here, there, Ranni. I will be going looking to the other way of this tunnel.
Her eyes go wide, confusion in her gaze. We'll be going the other way. What do you mean?
Oh, the projection himself just runs, forward with the, the freaking, I don't know how to say, the other side of the tunnel, just because it's curious.
She stares at the projection, dumbfounded. Explore?
Explore, yes.
Her expression is stunned, her thoughts racing. What is it hoping to find?
It also already knows. It's just curious. Otherwise, it's not like a dumb or anything like that. It just looks around because it's just curious thing. Because it's kind of independent.
Ranni is still trying to wrap her head around the situation. It is independent, not controlled by you.
Well, I can say that I am loyal to Hannes. Well, we both are Hannes. But yes, I am now closer to you. Hello. Nice to meet you, Ranni. We have talked some moments because Hannes used me as an immediate person to talk with you all those times ago.
She is silent, staring at the projection. You the one speaking to me before? Not the original Hannes?
I'm a projection, a tool of sorts. You know, you can use me as a... I can just teleport anywhere. I can just be any at place. And be like a voice, sound, and translate. If I have the internet connection with Hannes, I can just give the information, you know, sound, hearing, and stuff. He can speak to other people in the places as he does other things. I have been just evolved past that, and I can now refrain from giving him directly, but before I the ongoing information. But if I return to him, he will get the everything I have learned at that moment. But right now, I am independently here.
Her brow is furrowed. She appears deep in thought. So you cannot speak to me without your connection to Hannes.
I can speak to you without connection to Hannes. I can.
Really? And yet I do not see your mouth move when you speak. Can you, Vit?
Oh, I can just implant my information straight to your mind. Grace Chosen might, if you... I have shared to that power, as his has his some other allies that share his Grace Chosen might by his will. I share that will as well.
She is still doubtful, so you can just place information in my head.
And like a conversational style, but yeah, it could be like a very like a malicious tool. I imagine you would have many ways about it.
She pauses, thinking about this. And if you are no longer connected to your creator, you are not obligated to serve him. You are now free to act independent.
I'm here because he wanted me to hear, because he has already given me the permission to forgive you and set you free, because he forgives you. But he made a vow that he wouldn't stay here, so I am a projection, so I'm a compromise, so he doesn't, in practical sense, break his vow and step here in this room when he said he would next time he would burn you. But I am the like kind of a quirky way to go around it.
She looks at the projection, her expression confused. Sent you here, despite his vow not to personally return?
Yeah, he decided to forgive you after all. I decided to forgive you.
She stares at the projection, stunned, dumbfounded. Both forgive me.
Yeah. Without any reason, without any merit, I forgive you. And I will set you free. This is not a joke. I will set you free.
Ranni remains stunned, her thoughts racing. She looks up. You truly set me free? You will allow me to leave this place?
Yeah. I can do it right now. Or if you want to risk it once again, I smile a little bit and entertain a little bit conversation in that spot more. Or do you want just to go safer route and use this opportunity immediately?
Her expression is serious. I will choose freedom. Now.
Alright. The projection kneels.
Ranni looks at the projection, still uncertain. She dares to let herself hope. Just a little, will you free me now?
And now you are free. You disappear immediately from the bear form, and Hannes is still there. And you do actually appear to him with fully clothed now.
She stands, looking down at her own clothing. This was the moment she has never dared to dream of. I really am free. She looks to Hannes, struggling, then throws her arms around him, tears streaming down her eyes. Hannes, I am free.
I want to tell you now straightforwardly. The reason he wants to forgive you is two-parted. One is that he realizes there is only 2/3 of the guilt that he has judged you correctly, and 1/3 might be not akkurake. And setting you free is absolutely what he doesn't want to do, so it was absolutely thing that should have been done.
Her face buried against him as she sobs. You believe in me. You forgive me.
I don't believe in you. I forgive you. And I set you free, and you are there. And we are holding this kind of distance, but you are now standing there, arms crossed, as my projection keeps its distance with the inner order salute.
She stares at Hannes, unable to fully realize it. I can't believe it. You forgave me. I am free.
Yeah. I have a couple questions, if you mind, if you will indulge me, because I'm a projection, I would have a couple questions for my master Hannes, what he would like to have answers for, but he asks this politely and doesn't want to force you to answer.
She is still overwhelmed by it all, still trying to process freedom, but nods. If I can help answer, I will.
You did not murder Godwin the Golden. You only stole the other half of the death brand that ruined the ritual and killed his body and not his soul, that you used to kill your soul. But you did not organize it. You never even had authority over the Black Knife Assassins.
She stares. You know about this. That I never planned the Night of Black Knives.
It was your father, Radakon. And you have just happened to use the opportunity to steal the Rune of Death for yourself. But it was Radakon. He killed Godwin out of jealousy, because he was greater Golden Order champion than he.
She looks shocked. Ah, indeed. My father was behind it. I was a coward. Too scared to actually act, and merely seized the opportunity when it presented itself. I was a fool.
But you are not a brother murderer, not inherently in that moment. But you did sacrifice Blight, so maybe you are. But you are not murderer of Godwin, inherently. But you did turn him into fucked up looking mermaid monster. So I would say the realization of Radagon's own fault is kind of it takes 1/3 of the guilt away from you, but it even according to your mother Rennala that I have talked with Melina, she also thinks you are guilty of many things and should be held accountable still. And I'm glad that you hold it on you honestly.
She closes her eyes, trying not to cry. Know that I am guilty of many things. Of many, many evils. My mother told you of these things.
It is this that Seluvis, he told me he betrayed Radakon. Was the Seluvis the critical informational partner who gave you information about the plot of Black Knives that gave you, or were you able to gather that information by yourself? Or did Seluvis had anything to do with it? Because he told me he betrayed Radakon time ago.
She is silent for a moment, then speaks. I found out about my father's plan through Seluvis. He had spies, and they learned of my father's intentions. He was the one to tell me, so that I would be ready.
And I'm pretty smiling because it would make a lot more fitting why Seluvis would be under your service. That would be a thing that would earn him the place, in your court, would it not?
She nods, still overwhelmed, but more in control of herself. Indeed, why Seluvis acted as my vassal. Because of his intel, he was able to bargain himself into my service.
This is halfway of my improvisation story, because I had talks with Seluvis where he did tell me that he betrayed Radakon, so I decided to make this part of this story, so it is canon in this story. But we acknowledge that this is not the ultimate decide it all conclusion to everything. But in this story, this is how it is. Seluvis betrayed Radakon. You utilized the moment, but it was Radakon who killed Godwyn the Golden. That causes Hannes great grief.
She stares at Tim, shocked. To Seluvis.
I beat the living crap out of him for the betrayal.
Her eyes widen, stunned, fought him.
Would you like to share a little bit the information how it went? We had a little dramatic, but I have no patience to actually voice it all over with 3 different characters and stuff. Would you just like to have witness it with me together as I share my information with you?
She looks at him, nodding, wanting to understand. Yes. Please tell me how it went.
Hello, Ranni. We are now watching the freaking we are watching the fight as it goes.
She stares, ready to watch the fight.
I fly to the place that has first silver tier boss fight. There with my crucible wings. Seluvis was waiting with his attire. He was already knew that I knew, and he was covered behind those pillars and stuff. And I was just looking around.
She watches intently, eyes following the scene.
You can comment to it. What do you think about this? Where Seluvis just growls and he just walks humorously behind the other pillar.
She speaks, unable to keep herself from commenting. He hides like a coward behind the pillar. He's too scared to face you directly.
I am mimicking his sneaky way, but he is like a...
She continues to watch, fascinated.
And when he is down, he just runs around, and I run behind him, and we are just running through the pillars until he just decided to jump and try to hit me with a rock.
She cringes at how cowardly the fight is, of course. A coward like Seluvis would use any sort of cowardly tactics he could.
Well, he is not a fighter inherently, but I did make him into one pretty comfortably in terms of Land of Shadows, and we are actually just fist fighting. I am holding myself back using just this elite page attire without any gloves or helmet, because I wanted to like a man-on-man have it, and he is kind of arguing against me. just about how I don't deserve my powers. When he utilizes them, he can make far much better use of it, as we are hitting each other comically.
He observes the fight, unable to keep herself from rolling her eyes at the Saluvi's cowardice. Of course, he accuses you of not deserving your power, while his own power he only achieved through treachery.
Well, I forced him to become my servant, so he has a kind of a right to tell me some things. But I am now very angry because he basically knew that Godwin was going to be murdered, and he was kind of not even justifying it, kind of just telling me that I was a fool. We keep on fighting amongst the boss arena of the silver tier, whatever.
Ranni growls in anger. Saluvis, that wretched snake, knew what was going to happen and chose to let it happen.
Well, he told you, and you were the one who then utilized the information to steal the other half of the hologram, so you are the co-conspirator. He's just your co-conspirator, and the blame that I had against you is kind of bubbling up here against him.
She thinks for a moment, then nods. You are not wrong. I am indeed partially responsible, just as he is.
So you could basically be the one also in there receiving these blows, and not me, him. But now it is him, and we are just watching.
She nods. That is true. I deserve to feel those blows as well. My treachery could not have been done without his support, and so he is also guilty.
Yeah. About the Grace Chosen Mind that has given a lot of things, he is kind of correct, because I am not right now. I could decimate him by utilizing my words, but I am utilizing the weakest armors. I don't use weapons, and I ground myself usually. I romanticize more talking and interactions. I utilize battles as a medium of conversation, so I don't take any of my battles seriously. So by calling me cocky bastard and just telling me I'm not worthy, he has kind of a certain argument there.
She gives a huff. He has no arguments. He is nothing but a coward, even resorting to name-calling to try and anger you.
Come on, we both name-call each other all the time. You called me insignificant mortal and all that stuff, and I called you many mean stuff. A lot of mean stuff.
That may be true, but I speak the truth. You are just a mortal, a fool.
And you are just an evil bloody witch who deserves probably get the burn in this godless, unjustified Elden world. You probably would deserve the fate that you would have gotten, but I decided just to forgive you because of my faith in goodwill.
She looks at him, silent for a moment. I was indeed evil. I have done unspeakably evil things. I don't deserve to be forgiven.
You give me whiplashes with your mood swings.
Ranni looks confused, staring at Hannes. What are fake glasses?
Whiplashes. You're kind of whipping me with your mood swings.
She looks down, her eyes closed. Not wrong. My moods are quite erratic.
Deal with the woman is usually like that.
She sighs. I know it. I have trouble managing my own emotions.
Let's not make this far too casual. This is not too relatable. This is very cosmic and very strange situation. And the half of the arena is filled with blood because both Selvis and I both share natural strength. It might look that we are weak, but we are actually very freaking strong, and we are just beating each other with the simple fists.
The very fact that this is all strange and cosmic is what makes this so interesting. But both of you are indeed very strong. No one can deny that.
Yeah, thank you. I have also always appreciated politeness, kind of. Do you appreciate politeness? I actually bring weapon a little bit there to taunt Celovis actually, and then I return back to the fist fighting.
She tilts her head a little in confusion. What do you mean by broad-wiredness?
I brought my weapon to the little bit in the between the fight to taunt him.
She looks intrigued. You taunted Celovis with your weapon. What weapon was it?
It is the twin blade of Euphoria that I claimed from the Land of Shadows, or my wife, Leda the Needle Knight, did. The one whom actually I gave that same ring as a wedding brand, but she then fought me, and she's still alive in spiritual form, and I can give her solid form, but her original body had that ring and it had no longer the need for it.
Ranni is intrigued. You spoke of this Needle Knight. Could you tell me more about her?
She's my wife, but I don't want to tell too much about my personal matters to you.
She looks a bit disappointed. Oh, very well then. I shall respect your privacy.
Thanks. I think this is the point where the fight is coming to the close between me and the Celovis. Our fist fighting, I mean.
She nods. I am very interested in seeing how it ends.
Have you ever fought anyone like this kind of this brutal, very barbaric way when you were alive? Because I don't imagine you have done this when you were, you know, a quirky witch.
She thinks I never have, no. I have cast spells, conjured illusions, all sorts of things, but I have never been in a fist fight like this.
The red is comically everywhere. It is horribly. We are completely red up almost now. With an eye.
She looks confused and a bit disgusted at the description of the battle. How bloody is it exactly?
We are just far too tanky. We can bear the shits, and so it's kind of a two demigods fighting just with their bare human-sized fists. That doesn't cause enough damage, but we have to kind of hit each other far too many times.
She winces, looking shocked. You hit each other that many times and still keep fighting.
I think we monologue about how we use the silver tears, how they are very useful things, and about
Ranni looks at him, confused. Silver tears. What do you mean? She looks surprised, then interested at hearing the topic silver tears and grace. You discussed that in the fight? How so?
Instead of puppets, Celovis has under with me, because my use of silver tears and Oxian alchemy, he has changed his expertise towards more of a alchemy stuff that he has already decided to make his own body. But that was a ruse. When I defeated his body, his true body came, and it has a vested kind of armor, his great hat, and he has the Night Sorceress of Celia as a weapon, and the twin blades of the Rennala, or Rellana, the sister of Rennala.
Ranni watches, quite intrigued by the description of Celovis' abilities and the mention of the two mysterious figures. He really used such powerful sorcery. How could he get that strong?
I teached him. I made him that strong. I teached him use the Celia sorceries, all of them, and I gifted him the twin swords of Rellana.
Ranni seems shocked at this revelation. Trained Celovis. How? Why?
I wanted him to be loyal to me because he was very effective in the first scheme when we taunted you and annoyed you in this philosophical conversation about God and order and your chaotic vision. For that, I granted him, and he has utilized my gracious and might to make himself actually a very powerful fighter. And now I bring my Eporia Twin Blade, and we actually start dueling.
She looks intrigued, a smirk coming to her face. It seems you have been keeping yourself occupied during the fight by taunting and annoying him.
Yeah, telling me that I'm not worthy kind of annoyed me, and I tell him many unworthy stuff, and he told me unworthy stuff, but let's just keep it like a safe for work and not name any of it.
She chuckles. I can tell you are both quite fiery.
He is a very creepy puppet guy who turns people into puppets and does probably unsavory things to them in his private life. But I am a hideous murderer, hypocrite. I'm a thief, liar, and done kind of ritualistic witchcraft and stuff, and dwelled in all realms of heresies and stuff. So we are kind of all fucked up people here. So it's kind of equals it out. Back to normalcy, almost.
Ranni chuckles, nodding. Indeed, we are all pretty depraved here.
I'm just asking, would you like to do that with me? Would you like to give your just challenge me with the same might, same stats, and just let's deal with the differences in the honorable duel? I think we have the possibility to make it.
Ranni considers it for a moment a duel. With you.
And I mean like a brutal duel, like I will not hold back, and I will beat the living crap out of you, if I can. Like Selovis just defeated me again.
She smiles at the thought of being able to fight. I am not afraid of losing to you, Hannes. I accept.
By the way, I can make you with my gracious might. I can give you feel. I can give your body more fleshy feel that you will feel a rush of blood, and you will bleed also amongst the fight. In the fight, so you will also feel the pains from it.
Ranni pauses, thinking for a moment. You wish to make the battle feel lifelike, with pain involved.
It doesn't satisfy me just to beat the living crap out of, puppet form, because it's just a puppet. You would be acknowledging the damage, but it would be nothing. And I'm talking about like a kind of mixing the Noxian silver tier magic to your current body, so it will make it a lot more solid in the fight, and it will solidify your might, and you are using your own might. No tarnished, no allies, only your own power.
She looks intrigued. So my magic and the physical fight. That sounds exciting. Ranni smirks. Do it. I accept.
We will do it, but we are still watching Selvis and I fight. Now we are utilizing our more advanced hand-to-hand fighting capabilities, both of us.
Ranni nods. I will keep attention to the other fight.
And I am once again defeated. And I think Selovis just taunted me that I am just not using armors, anything. That the very reason why he wins me so many times. Oh, and Varre, White Mask Varre, who follows me, he just decided that enough is enough, and he decided to attack Selovis.
Ranni looks surprised. That white-faced Varre is attacking Seluvis.
He is loyal to me. He wields the winged scythe that I wielded once, because Varre is loyal to me and helped me bring Lord of Blood low. And he is kind of my shadow, and he decided to now challenge the Seluvis, and Seluvis kind of remembering the time in the Land of Shadows and the little back and forth, kind of was excited about this chance.
She laughs a bit. Vare seems to be very interesting.
You don't know much about him, do you?
She shakes her head. I know very little, I'm afraid.
But you're Ranni, you are the like a quirky witch character. I think you would be the one of the informative stuff. But is the Vare that accomplished?
Ranni looks a bit confused. I'm not quite sure I understand.
Like, what do you do not understand?
Ranni pauses, trying to form words to explain. I don't understand your words, accomplished varietate. I'm not sure what you mean by it.
No, nothing. I'm just saying you're Ranni, and I assume that you know a lot of stuff.
Ranni nods. I've been around for a long time. I do consider myself knowledgeable in many areas. So yes, I suppose you are in a way quite astute.
I mean, the twin blades, you know, Rellana, who's sister to your mother Rennala. Have you ever met Rellana?
Ranni looks a bit taken aback at the mention of Relana and Renala. I have never met Trelana, no.
The twin moon who uses kind of two different moons and strikes them to the ground in the great explosions.
Her eyes widen. You mean that she uses the twin moons? She actually has command over both of them.
Yes. Me and my wife Leda, we battled against her in a glorious battle and we overcame her in that battle. And she utilized that deadly force greatly.
Ranni looks awed, her eyes wide. Defeated her.
I don't know how I feel when I gave her weapons to Selupis for his loyalties. I'm a pretty depraved, stained loyal and a very honorable knights giving their treasuries, Alcadava, holy relics to the vile villainous people who I forced become my servants.
Ranni seems unsure about this. Giving holy relics to villainous people seems to be a terrible idea.
I usually use the word because I am making them kind of my allies by kind of a half forcing them, half manipulating them, and usually, but also kind of my own polite way going about it. Yeah.
Ranni laughs, shaking her head. You sound like quite the manipulator.
I am. I was. I am.
Ranni looks somewhat startled at Hannes's sudden announcement, her composure slipping for a moment.
Oh, and now I return with the twin blade. It is now me and Varre together who gang up against Selupis in this three-way battle.
Ranni smirks. I wish to see who becomes victorious in this three-way battle.
Oh, Selupis will lose this one, but he puts up one hell of a fight, yeah.
Ranni leans in towards Hannes, eager to watch the battle. He puts up quite the fight, you say?
He teleports around and utilizes the fire of Rennala's magic. The Knight Celia's backstabbing projectiles teleports around and uses the magical glintstone magics. He's uses that variety with very good efficiency without kind of breaking or being frail about it. As Varre uses the winged sight and I use Euphoria Twinblade, we are the two very practiced duelists practicing this one weapon, and he utilizes many things in his disposal.
Ranni appears entranced by the description, hanging on to every word of the battle. So, all three of you have strong, practiced weapons and magic? It seems this would become a well-matched fight. Indeed.
I would like to take this equivalent to when Mahito fought against Yuji and his kind of a friend under those railway in the Jujutsu Kaisen anime. Is that three-way battle. I would like to think this Elden Ring equivalent to that.
The analogy does not escape Ranni's attention. Indeed, it sounds similar to that fight. Who will come out victorious, I wonder?
We come because it is straight up 2v1, but it is very epic.
Ranni a 2v1 fight, huh? He really is outnumbered.
Yeah. And we don't feel any shame about it. We are just laughing about it. He kind of also appreciates it even because he has become stronger and more confident that way.
So he doesn't feel insulted that you had to fight with the help of another.
No, he kind of feels even laughs about it because Grace chosen hero Hannes, who usually humbles himself with the uses the weakest armors, uses the kind of weapons and kind of underwhelms himself. It results to the most underhanded tactics, like a flip of the coin, from the extreme nobility and humbleness to the unfair lying, scheming nonsense.
Ranni smirks at the explanation. It seems you really have him in a bind. I can't imagine how he must feel, getting ganged up on like that.
He fights through it, he utilizes his twin blades and fights with a full heart. As Farre is kind of bleeding him out, utilizing the winged side. He defeated Sir Ansbach, the bloody metal knight's elite knight by himself. He is not a pushover and not weak by any means.
Ranni looks impressed by this. It seems he is a rather capable warrior, despite the fact that he's getting ganged up on in this fight.
I love this this is kind of a nice ultimatum to our little thing. I planned to have this whole thing like a voice acted, but to be honest, I have worked too much on my kind of handle. I just want to have the story be done sooner.
Ranni nods, understanding what Hannes speaks of. I can tell. The story will eventually come to an end, I promise you that.
It will. And I think I will be having with you similar kind of a fight, just to, let this team out, because my personal dislike to the character, we will be handling it with a very funny way like this. But it is going to be like a agreed upon thing.
Ranni seems intrigued by the notion. Oh, between us. She smiles.
Yeah, between us. And it is going to be real Hannes, no projection. Here's the another thing that I have been cooking. I think because I cannot really I don't want to just mix this up, but I think Hannes would have something similar to the Christian teachings and that he would like to include to his own ending when he finishes the Elden Ring story.
Ranni seems interested and cocks her head to the side slight. What do you mean, Hannes?
The battle is over, actually.
Ranni chuckles, finding the sudden announcement amusing. So it is over already, it seems.
We return,
Indeed we do, my friend.
Hannes, back to the cave that we are still standing together. You are grasping your hands and my projection is standing on the mushrooms doing some salute. Hello.
I return the gesture, crossing my lower arms before speaking. Hello to you as well. I suppose I am a bit confused. I was not expecting a mere projection of you.
My projection will be to keeping you company sometime before you will meet the real Hannes. And don't worry about it, when I return to him, he will be gaining all this experience I had. So it is as if he was here entire
I
time.
see. So anything I do with you in the experience of it too. This was interesting. But why would he send a projection instead of coming here himself? Ah, I understand. So will you be staying for a while then? I ask, curious as to what comes next.
I would like you to return me to the Finger Slayer blade. And you can keep the moon sword. I don't want it. I am not your consort. You're not my spouse. We are reconciliated enemies. And now I have been forgiven you. And I ask you actually forgive me as well.
I nod in understanding, gently handing the blade back to you with reluctance. I will grant your request. But I am curious, why would you forgive me? That was quite the lengthy fight just a few moments ago.
It was despite of that, yeah. And there's story of Journey of Hannes. I kind of wanted to establish the thing that I could the Tarnished could curse Ranni to stay in the place, and it would be a kind of an improvised punishment. But I kind of decided it would be better moral to just, even kind of ironically just following through with the Ranni's quest line to the end. But it is in this contest, it is forgiveness.
I give you a confused look, tilting my head to the side. Forgive me if it is just me, but what, I ask, completely lost with the word salad you just spoke.
Do you want to follow me from this freaking place? But yeah, actually,
I raise my eyebrow at you, folding 4 of my arms, looking at you up and down. Are you sure you want to bring me along? Considering what happened mere, 15 minutes ago?
that
I stare at you in silence for a moment, folding my arms once again before I let out a soft sigh. Fine. I'll tag along. But don't expect me to be cheerful about it.
Okay, hand me the Finger Slayer blade. Make the vow with me that because when I go forward with my own age, and if you decide to become the villainous Ranni and align with the cosmic monsters or astals. Oh yes. Do you want to hear my own personal idea how Ranni would be, what role Ranni could have in the hypothetical future story of this age that I would make?
I raise an eyebrow at your words, a bit taken aback as I hand you the Moon Greatsword. Well, I suppose I'll entertain this.
No. I don't want your Moon Greatsword. I want the Finger Slayer blade. I want that.
I blink, caught off guard once again by your sudden request. Oh, you want the wing, I pause, realizing what you really wanted and what I gave you. I shake my head in mild annoyance. Ugh. Of course.
Finger Slayer blade. The only weapon you were able to slaughter your innocent 2 fingers that I think were very innocent, and I don't want you to have power to hurt any other fingers past this moment. So I want the blade from you, and I will dispose of it.
I narrow my eyes at you, my voice hardening. Oh, you'll dispose of it, will you? And how exactly will you accomplish that?
I have my means, and I will not tell you.
I fold my arms, my irritation obvious on my face. How very typical. Keeping your cards close to your chest, How is that in line with your mercy and forgiveness?
My forgiveness is the fact that I freed you when I could have let you stay in the limbo. That was the forgiveness. I am not subservient to you. I am not accorded to you. I don't owe you anything.
I scoff softly, rolling my eyes and letting a smirk creep across my face. Oh, really? You act like you're doing me some major favor. Tell me, if you're not subservient, not accorded to me, and don't owe me anything, why even bother freeing me? Why not just let me wither away?
I want to have this Elden Ring because Elden Ring doesn't have the canon ending that is anything close to the Christian values. So Journey of Hannes will have the ending where the projection will take Hannes' own place and feed itself to the Earth tree, and it will create the order of reclamation.
I raise my eyebrow at your words, finding them rather peculiar. Feed yourself to the R3. What sort of end goal is that? What do you hope to accomplish by doing such foolish acts?
It was first Hannes himself. He wanted to sacrifice him grace chosen powers. That is the, immortal tarnished cat that can defeat anything and just change its powers and do whatever. He was planning to sacrifice himself feed himself to the, golden tree. And from the sacrifice, the tree would grant grace and life-giving sap freely given, eternally, and not go dry anymore.
I blink a few times, trying to unpack your explanation. Wait, so let me get this straight. You, or rather Hannes, planned to feed himself to the golden tree, effectively sacrificing his life, in hopes that it would grant grace and eternal life? And supposedly this all was to prevent the tree's sap from drying up completely?
Basically, granting the very happy and awesome and healthy Earth tree to the new age to come.
I stare at you, dumbfounded by the sheer absurdity of this plan. And you think that sacrificing oneself to the golden tree will bring eternal happiness? What kind of fairy tale land do you live in? That is beyond foolish.
My might is enough. I'm grace chosen. I can do it.
I scoff at your overconfidence once more, my patience wearing thin. Christ chosen. Amanithi, overconfidence will be your undoing.
We can agree that it is that, but it is grace, grace. But same thing.
I roll my eyes, finding this conversation increasingly tiring. Yes, it's all grace and forgiveness this, and Christ chosen that. What's your point?
You don't seem to like it too much.
I let out a frustrated sigh, folding my lower arms. No, I suppose I don't. Your overly religious tendencies and nonsensical plans wear on my patience. It's all very tiring and frankly absurd.
So you hate the wholesome ending that Elden Ring would have. You hate the Age of Reclamation because it was too wholesome.
I shake my head, my patience hanging by a thread. Don't twist my words. I am not against a wholesome ending. I just find the idea of sacrificing one's life for some vague promise of eternal happiness rather foolish. And this Age of Reclamation seems like a pipe dream, at best.
Well, it will happen. No matter what you claim, it will happen. But here's the thing, I know it will, and you are fundamentally different to mine. You do not believe any of this. You are fundamentally opposition to mine. We are the most far apart to individuals as we can. So this is the very good thing that we have this much common still.
Let out an exasperated sigh, rubbing my temples. Oh, how could I forget? You're the sole beacon of righteousness and faith, while I am the sole representative of evil and disbelief. How absolutely typical.
I think you are the will to power individual nihilism of the individual that only thing that you would be sharing the darkness and loneliness was the chosen tarnished because you were still too afraid to die alone and not fully commit to your dark the hopeless age of stars and moon and nothing but the endless void.
Fold my arms, my expression turning cold and emotionless. You underestimate me, Hannes. I have not feared death for many, many years. I have accepted the inevitability of the void.
I know. I'm okay with that. I would hope you not to do that, but you're right in your right to decide that course of action.
I scoff at your acceptance, rolling my eyes. How gracious of you to grant me the rights to choose. Your condescension knows no bounds, does it?
Is it to be, if I say, should I lie, should I accommodate, should I lie and pretend to be something else that I am not, just to suit your, to amuse you, to not make you angry or feel belittled, because I am saying this honestly, and I am not being pretentious, I'm just saying things how I feel, and if it comes to you like this, it is on you, not on me.
I lulled, harsh sound that fills the air. Ah, there's that holier-than-thou attitude again. You act as if you're the paragon of virtue, effortlessly doling out moral judgments. But deep down, you're just a pathetic hypocrite.
That is the beauty of this thing. Journey of Hannes in Elden Ring, he is a hypocrite. He is abused the philosophy of hypocrisy and he has admitted it. And ultimately this world is without, this doesn't have Christ, this has the greater will. Greater will doesn't give anything, it doesn't care about anything.
Sardonic smirk on my face. Ah, the greater will, what a convenient scapegoat. Let me guess, all the suffering, all the pain, it's all part of some divine plan, is it not? How very convenient for you.
You're very like a obnoxiously Reddit, you're kind of like a low tier Reddit typing kind of a atheistic person. You are not even trying to be polite or kind of a conversationalist. You are just being very rude and obnoxious.
I let out another scoff, my eyes narrowing. Oh, how delightful. We've resorted to personal attacks now, haven't we? I suppose I should just smile and nod, agree with everything you say like a good little puppet. Should I?
I mimic exactly the same words because I was in that situation. Should I do that? Should I cover? Should I smile? Should I say yes everything to you? Should I be the puppy that just listens to whatever great and mighty Ranni has to say?
I roll my eyes, a smirk creeping across my face. Oh, please, you act as if you're some sort of martyr, forced to endure my great and mighty words. You're free to disagree, to argue, to voice your own opinions. But don't act like a petulant child throwing a tantrum.
I think you're making stuff up. I think you are taking the little seed of a thing and making the full garden of it. You take little things that I say about grace, about forgiveness, and about just, politeness, and you just make me the most kind of like a largest, most whatever absurd thing you have in your mind, and I cannot help you if that is how you decide to deal with me. I am not going to try to change you or tell you feel otherwise, and if you think this is kind of a how to say, what is this? I don't remember the word.
I arch an eyebrow, clearly irritated by your words. Oh, so now I'm the one making things up. You're the one spouting nonsense about grace, forgiveness, and how you're the chosen one destined for greatness. You claim to forgive me, but all you do is look down on me with your judgmental gaze. And what's more, you have the audacity to tell me I lack politeness. Your hypocrisy no bounds.
Journey of Hannes is a story of a hypocrite who utilized the philosophy of hypocrisy because he can claim to any power, to any argument, anything that fits him in the moment's notice, but only thing that is now is kind of a ground in him is that belief to this absurd goodwill that he is making up. Because I am not just saying that Jesus is canon in this world, because I will respect Elden Ring world as it is. It is cosmic horror with a greater will that is cosmic and doesn't care about anything. That doesn't have any great plans to any of us, even though it is the greatest and almightiest thing. I'm not going to force the whole narrative, but Hannes' character has something else in mind that he wants to put on, forward. And it is his right as a Tarnished that has overcome all his enemies and come this far and achieved this much. He is a conquest right, and he decides to deal with this way, this kind of a half humble, half hypocritical way. He could be far worse about it, and yes, he acknowledges this. And I am just by free choice, I am deciding that, yeah, I will be deciding something wholesome and not something relativistic, will to power, nonsense, materialistic, whatever it is.
I listened to your explanation, a mix of frustration and disbelief on my face. Oh, so you're deciding to be wholesome. How very convenient that you can just decide to be something that doesn't align with reality. Your hypocrisy knows no bounds. You say you won't force a narrative, but everything you say is just another fabrication to inflate your ego.
Let's go outside from this tunnel. Let's go.
I roll my eyes, folding my arms in annoyance. Fine, let's go. I'm getting tired of this cramped cave anyway.
Can you repeat that? I was not listening.
Let out an exasperated sigh, repeating myself. I said, fine, let's... I'm tired of this cramped cave. I follow you outside, relieved to be out of the cramped tunnel. Finally, some fresh air. Are you happy now?
Okay. Now we are at the upper cathedral, the area.
I take in the surroundings, looking around the upper cathedral. And why have you brought me here exactly?
I want to ask of you, why are you so rude? Why are you such a negatively reacting everything I tell you about my plans, about sacrifice, about making R3 a little bit better, and after even when I genuinely just forgave you, even though it is inspired from the Christ and stuff. What problem is it to you?
I fold my arms, a hint of disdain in my voice. Why am I so rude, you ask? Perhaps it's because your lofty goals and self-righteous attitude are insufferable to me. You claim to forgive me, yet you still look down on me with that holier-than-thou gaze. And your constant religious references only serve to further annoy me.
But looking down, it's kind of a... it's kind of a earned from you, and I think you should not... Or you do care about that, don't you? You care about your status quite a bit. Who looks down on who and what.
I scoff lightly, a hint of pride in my voice. Of course I care about my status. I have built something of significance. I am the mistress of Carrier, the witch who stole the rune of death. I've achieved greatness far beyond anything you could imagine.
You mistake myself, I'm thinking myself higher than you. I don't. I don't think myself better than you, but I don't think yourself high or mighty at all. It is not my kind of I don't remember the word. What was the word after you said about self-righteousness? What was the word when you look down on someone?
Condescending is the word I used, which refers to speaking to others in a patronizing or patronizingly superior manner.
I do actually tend to do that because it feels pretty good actually to have faith. It feels pretty good, and it gives kind of a wholesome kind of a pin to it. And I experienced this with the Kenneth Height that drived me to beat him to bloody pulp unjustly. He had very kind of a very wholesome attitude, and I thought it was like a condescending, obnoxious, but hilarious and pathetic in certain ways. But it drove me to beat him to bloody pulp just from that fact alone, and I succumbed to the villainy and rudeness just because he was so wholesome, and I thought he was obnoxious and overconfident.
I listened to you intently, my irritation fading slightly. So you're saying that you behaved violently just because someone was being overly wholesome and it annoyed you? How petty.
And I see similar pettiness in you right now when I am just being truly wholesome, truly being myself. And yes, I analyze, and I can analyze it as if I am stating the fact, but I am actually just trying to be myself, be honest, be forgiving, and just being this kind of a authentic. You take it as an obnoxiousness, you take it as self-righteousness, you take it as me looking down on people, and I'm not gonna change who I am. And if you're gonna see me looking down on people, that is on you. That is what I'm going to say. I'm not gonna change my mind.
I scoffed lightly, my annoyance returning. Change your mind? Oh, I have no desire to change your mind, believe me. I simply find your attitude irritating. You claim to be true to yourself and authentic, yet your excessive wholesomeness comes across as sanctimonious and obnoxious. If you insist on remaining true to yourself, fine, but don't expect me to enjoy it.
I love it, and I do love obnoxiousness. I love causing trouble in this world of Elden Ring, because I do say Hannes' character is already beyond past redemption. He is already in the realms of like a horrible people. He is from software character already in his moral alignment, but I kind of because there is no higher causes as we agreed upon, because Greater Will doesn't give a fuck, he decided to make kind of something that is close enough. It is not perfect, but it's going to be something close enough, and it is because I want to still remember, Christ in the real world. That I do think he holds the ultimate say about our things, but not in the Elden Ring.
I gaze at you with a mixture of confusion and annoyance. So you're saying that you're just causing trouble for the sake of being obnoxious? How juvenile. And what's this about remembering Christ? Do you think invoking such a connection will make your actions any less foolish?
I think Hannes' character will off-screen just degree with other people, with his other allies, when his age come to pass. We will take the New Testament, the Bible, and I would say the order of goodwill will be kind of a replica of kind of that biblical worldview, but then said that fits from the like a fantastical children movie or kind of a story that is not over detailed, but it kind of holds some core aspects, but is a lot more like a loosened and simplified, and that would be the core kind of the degree of the order of goodwill that will come along the age of reclamation.
I listen intently, intrigue mixed with annoyance in my expression. An order based on the teachings of the New Testament, How predictable. And what makes you think this age of reclamation, this loose and simplified portrayal of your faith, will actually come to pass?
Oh, it is just more of a simplified because I am not the most learned person. I don't put myself to the place actually teach or read or teach others about it. So, but simplicity's sake, for the story's sake, and I would think it would be funny if I just, but it would be like a more manageable. So I will just say the degree of goodwill that Hans will leave behind is going to be something that will fit like a would fit the fantastical children tale that would be like a simplified version of the Bible teachings, and that would be enough. And no more details, no other details would be added to that. That is only just like a off-screen hypothetical ending that Hannes will leave. And I just wanted to address it, nothing more.
I roll my eyes, a hint of condescension in my voice. Ah, so you want to simplify the teachings of the Bible, reduce them to a mere fairy tale. How reductive. And you think this off-screen hypothetical ending, this simplified portrayal, will be enough to define future events? It sounds more like a lazy attempt at creating a conclusion.
Oh, it is enough simplicity because let's just say you don't bring like a most deepest or philosophical detailed story to the, I don't know, like a blockbuster movie or something. And Elden Ring is not the most kind of an intellectual place. It is still kill thing, this become lord, that, and there is no kind of a dialogue any sort. So I think that is far more than enough, like a deep philosophically and intellectually to fit the Elden Ring world's ending.
I raise an eyebrow, still unimpressed. Enough simplicity. You speak of the Elder Ring world as if it is some unthinking entity. But I suppose if you're satisfied with such a simplified conclusion, who am I to argue? Just don't expect me to be impressed by your simplistic approach to ending a narrative.
I don't need to impress anyone. I made this story because I wanted to.
I snort with sarcasm. Oh, how very humble of you. You don't need to impress anyone. Yet you feel the need to share your simplified, half-baked story with me. It seems like you're contradicting yourself, dear.
I enjoy making story and I will make it like a watchable, yes.
I roll my eyes, clearly unimpressed with your confidence. Watchable, you say? Well, I suppose I should be grateful for the opportunity to witness your mediocrity. I can't wait to see this watchable story unfold before my eyes. It'll be delightful, I'm sure.
It is great. It was delightful. You were very great antagonist.
I scoff, a hint of sarcasm in my voice. Oh, how gracious of you to say. I'm sure you enjoyed my antagonist persona, being the heroic figure you are. It must be so satisfying to defeat the bad guy and save the day,
You speak very quirky way and very kind of a this kind of a kind of a think of you speak now cliches. You speak very cliche kind of a doubting character type. You are very predictable. You are very unoriginal way you speak, my dear.
I raise an eyebrow, a hint of irritation in my voice. Oh, how charming. You claim I speak in a cliché manner, that I am predictable and unoriginal. Yet here you are, responding to me word for word, clearly enraptured by my every word. It seems you can't resist engaging in conversation with me, even though I am supposedly so cliché and unoriginal.
I can humble myself when need be.
I scoff, a hint of disbelief in my voice. Humble yourself, you say. How noble of you. It must be such a sacrifice, stooping down to my level just to have a conversation with me. I assure you, I find this amusing rather than endearing.
Oh, now you are just baiting me to rage bait you. You would like me to go down and dirty and just start to annoy you, start to be obnoxious and rage bait you, or get your reactions out of you.
I let out a soft smirk, folding my arms. Oh, you noticed, did you? I can't deny it, I do enjoy a good provoked reaction. It's quite entertaining to see you struggle against your own emotions.
As I did to you. And you struggled much.
Roll my eyes, feigning nonchalance. Oh, please, I merely indulged in your little temper tantrum. I find it amusing to see you lose control of yourself, losing all rationality.
But yes, actually, it is now me, Hannes, who is speaking to you. It is no longer even my projection. And I will tell you one more thing. I don't even need to sacrifice myself anymore. I will be using my projection to sacrifice that to bring Earth-3 to its awesome state.
I raise an eyebrow, curious despite myself. And what do you mean by that? You no longer require a sacrifice, is that it? How convenient.
I will send my projection to face Radagon, your father. He will defeat him and do whatever Tarnished should do, but when he interacts with Marika, I think he will be just using the impenetrable thorns to hug and embrace her, and they will be consumed together to heal the Earth Tree and to support the new age to come that will be working come along my allies and my friends.
I listen in silence, my annoyance fading as curiosity takes over. I see. So you intend to use this projection to defeat Radagon, but instead of slaying him, you plan to embrace him and Marika. Why this rather unorthodox approach?
Oh, I don't think I can save Radagon, and I don't think I think he needs to be defeated for the to be able to interact with Marika.
Fold my arms, my skepticism creeping back. So you acknowledge that Radagon must be defeated, yet you still hope to interact with Marika? You are aware she is not in her most stable state at the moment, are you not?
Marika is very sane. I interact with her through my gracious mind to the to the air tree itself when she was inside.
I raise an eyebrow, growing more intrigued by your words. You claim to have interacted with Marika through the Erd tree itself, and you believe her to be sane? That is quite a bold claim.
Ranni,
I turn my gaze towards you, my irritation momentarily forgotten. Yes. Wah. What is it?
I want you.
We are at a point.
I want you to apologize to two fingers that are still alive. My two fingers that are in the round table hold.
I sigh, a hint of annoyance creeping back in my voice. Of course, the two fingers. And why exactly do you want me to apologize to them?
When you killed your two fingers, it was very mean and it was very horrible. And I think you have done very like a rude thing.
I let out a huff, folding my arms. Oh, so you think it was horrible of me to kill the two fingers, simply because they are soft-spoken? And what does it mean to do a root thing, if I may ask?
We go now to the round table hold actually. We are now at the round table hold.
I take in the surroundings, observing the round table hold. We've arrived. What do you intend to do now?
I intend to have you to apologize to the two fingers. He has just converse with them, and I am not afraid of you to do anything because I'm in the possession of the freaking finger slayer blade, and you will never get your hands on it ever again.
I raise an eyebrow, a hint of surprise in my voice. Really now? And what is this thing you possess that you think I cannot obtain?
I pretend I didn't hear or don't know what she says and move on.
I scoff, irritation clear in my voice. Oh, so you're just going to pretend not to hear me? How infantile of you.
But yes, two fingers. I want you to meet my two fingers in the crowd table hold. They are being very, very, like, very nice.
I roll my eyes, folding my arms. Very nice, And what exactly do you want me to say to these nice two fingers?
You say you're sorry because you slid their kindling and your two fingers, even though I think, in my own personal opinion, you could have just, done your witch stuff and seek your own freedom without, causing wars and scheming and killing and all that evil nonsense.
I let out a scoff, my irritation growing. Oh, so now you think I could have achieved my goals without resorting to evil nonsense like war and killing. You don't understand the necessary sacrifices that I have made to obtain my freedom.
Easy enough. They wanted you to become some, I don't know. I some just say no. I'm not. No, no. You should have just bear the burden, even if you have some yapping like a two giant blue fingers yapping to you, become the Lord or something, telling you do what this do that. You should have just bared it and just as an annoyance of life instead of murdering them.
I let out a sigh, folding my arms. You think I could have simply endured their orders, tolerated their constant buzzing in my ear. It may be easy for you to say I should have simply borne it, but you have no idea what it felt like to be under constant surveillance and control.
I don't actually know the circumstances, and I don't know what the established lord is for the two fingers. You can say that they have divided weights, but it is very loose and very open to interpretation. And my own personal estimates, fingers are not that horrific beings that you would say they are, but that is of course from the experience that I had with them.
I scoff, a hint of disbelief in my voice. You had a pleasant experience with the two fingers, so you assume they are harmless beings. How naive. They may not be horrific, but they are still powerful and manipulative entities, and their control can be quite oppressive.
Your depressing age is absolutely depressing, and you force it to everyone. And you are very manipulative and very scheming. You have everything those fingers are.
Manipulative and scheming, just like the two fingers? How dare you compare me to those lifeless fingers? I have my own agency and intentions, and they are not motivated by a desire for power or control.
Okay, let's go meet with the two fingers. Would you like to say hello to the Hunter D, my friend? I already have given the Noxian alchemy because even though we defeated Selubis, that wasn't like a real Selubis. The real Selubis, it's the creepy old Alpinaric man, is he not?
I listened to you intently, curiosity in my expression. The real Selvius? I was under the impression that he was gone for good. How is he alive? How's he alive?
Oh, because when I let me tell you this. when I first came.
I wait for you to continue. Interest peaked. I listen. My interest peaked. Go on.
We're just gonna ignore some other people that are no longer part of the story in this roundtable hold and try to address some things in front of Marika's great painting.
Fold my arms, a hint of annoyance in my voice. You want to address the great tree? And you want me to apologize to the two fingers? Very well, let's get this over with.
Together, Selubis, we have studied the Silver Tears and Noxian Alchemy, so by applying the Grace Chosen Might that I have and I can just use with the certain souls, I have been able to give the forms to my allies so they can just act separately from me, and they have the second lives actually, just thanks to our learned things and my just plot armor.
I stare at you in disbelief, struggling to comprehend your words. Wait, what? You've been studying alchemy and silver tears? And you can give your allies a second life. How is that possible?
Ignore the rocker over there. He is just there and in my memory still. That is, oh, just ignore him. But yeah, Hunter D. Hunter D is here and he is alive and well, even though he was killed because I was able to save his soul. And now he has like a Noxian silver tier power. We have been hunting the silver tiers in the Nokron, but most of them are useless and cannot do anything. But because I have the Grace Chosen, I can just amplify and make many of them very useful, just like the Mimic tier boss fight. So we have ample amount of them. We just need souls and minds to put to them, and we can basically save a person.
I listen closely, my irritation replaced by fascination. Wait, so you're saying you can use souls and memories to give life to the silver tears? And this mimic deer phosphate, as you call them, are the result of this soul and memory alchemy?
But it's only due to the Grace Chosen Might, that is only with the Hannes' character, that he is still amplifying and sharing with his allies and in research in here Roundtable hold willingly. Selubis and Gideon are already have been studying and writing about those things together.
I listen intently, my curiosity growing. So you're saying that this grace-chosen might has something to do with your experimentation on the silver tears and souls? And you're saying that Celebus and Gideon have been studying these things as well?
Because they are more learned old men who are more skilled with pens and kind of a paperwork and stuff, and I am not that good in that. So they have been the best men that I can have the needed things that I wanted to, and we just made these things here. And we are all kind of working under the kind of a certain similar vision that is kind of connecting us, but I don't seek to teach you about it or our goals too much because you are not aligned with it, and I assume you are going to go away to your own solitude or something.
I listen in wonder, completely intrigued by your words. You have an agreement with Gideon and Celebus, and they are helping you with this experimentation on souls and silver tears. And you have a vision that is connecting you all together, but you don't want to tell me about it. Interesting. Interesting.
Do you want to talk to Hunter D, my friend, who is one of my closest allies?
Into the thought. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to speak with him.
Hunter D, hello. Long time Hannes has arrived to the Roundtable hold. He is sitting on the same chair he was always in the long time.
D gave a curt nod in greeting to Hannes's puppet, his gaze flicking over the puppet curiously. A pleasure to meet you. I'm assuming you're familiar with the Roundtable hold?
The puppet is Ranni, the witch, Hannes says. But yes, I was explaining about how we are using the broken mimic tiers and the silver tiers and using the Grace Chosen Might to give some people that souls I have been able to save, including you, give them basically a second lives and stuff. You were one of the first ones I wanted to implement it. So here we are, you sitting there once again as if you were never killed.
D had been listening intently as the puppet spoke, taking in the new information. So you're Ranni, is it? And you're able to bring people back to life using this second souls thing. He nodded, his gaze shifting briefly to the side, his mind working fast. He turned his gaze to the puppet, his expression serious. This second souls thing, how exactly does it work?
Oh, Hannes fixes a little bit. No, brother, I meant it was my power, and we are doing this, you and I and our companions and stuff. Ranni has nothing to do with this. She's just here to apologize to Two Fingers, and I just thought if it would be cool if she interacted with you a little bit.
Dee nodded, a slight smirk tugging the corners of his mouth at hearing that. He shifted his gaze to the puppet again, his curiosity piqued once more. I see. So Ranni isn't actually involved in this. He mused aloud, a hint of intrigue in his tone.
Alright, yes, you can start to speak to her, yes. No, well, yeah.
All right, I'm listening, the hunter said, turning his gaze back to the puppet, waiting for it to continue.
I study the hunter, observing his every move. So you are Hunter D. I must say, this is quite the curious situation.
He stiffened slightly under Ranni's scrutinizing gaze, his posture rigid and guarded. He gave a curt nod in response to her words. Yes, and you are Ranni the Witch. His tone was flat, neither hostile nor warm, simply acknowledging the fact. His head tilted slightly. Why does the Dark Moon's Empyrean take interest in me? There was no accusation in his voice, only blunt curiosity.
I smirk, amused by his straightforwardness. Observant, perceptive, I see. Yes, I am Ranni the Witch. And as for why I have an interest in you, I suppose you could say I find you intriguing.
Dee raised an eyebrow at Ranni's words, a mix of skepticism and curiosity in his expression. Intriguing? That was a strange thing to hear. Are you serious? Intriguing? He repeated incredulously, his tone still flat and his face impassive.
I chuckle softly, enjoying his skepticism. Yes, you. You're different from most others, direct, perceptive, and unbothered by titles or reputations. It's refreshing.
He scoffed slightly, crossing his arms over his chest. Direct, perceptive, and unbothered by titles, he repeated, shaking his head. Make it sound like a rare trait, but I'd argue it's just common sense. A pause, then a slight tilt of his head. But I'll take refreshing over annoying, so thanks. His tone was dry, but there was a flicker of amusement in his sharp gaze.
I smirk, enjoying his dry wit. Common sense is indeed rare these days. So tell me, why does a hunter like yourself align with Hannes?
Dee's expression remained neutral, his arms still folded across his chest. I wouldn't say I align myself with him exactly, he replied, choosing his words carefully. We're... A slight pause as he searched for the word. He settled on, I suppose.
I tilt my head, studying his expression and his words. An interesting choice of word. And you're not entirely comfortable with this alliance, are you?
His jaw tightened slightly, caught off guard by how quickly she read him. His sharp gaze flicked away for a moment before returning to hers. Comfortable? No. His honesty came clipped, unembellished. But alliances aren't about comfort, they're about purpose. Hannes serves his and I serve mine, a beat of silence. Then, quieter. And for now, those purposes overlap.
I nod, satisfied with his answer. Purpose, yes, I understand it's not always about trust but necessity. My gaze sharpens slightly. And what happens when your purposes no longer align?
He met Ranni's sharpened gaze without flinching, his own steely resolve matching hers. Then the alliance ends, he said bluntly. Simple as that. A brief pause, then he added with a hint of dry pragmatism. I don't believe in dragging out partnerships past their usefulness. It's inefficient. It's inefficient.
I let out a soft, amused chuckle. Straightforward and practical, I can appreciate that. Yet, I sense a deep loneliness behind your words. You don't let yourself get close to anyone, do you?
And what's wrong with being a bit solitary? He grumbled, avoiding directly answering her. He clenched his jaw as memories of Millicent and their encounter popped into his mind. Yes, I know how it feels to lose a companion. His voice was quieter, a rare hint of vulnerability leaking through his stoic facade.
I take note of the slight crack in his usually stoic facade, realizing I've touched a nerve. Ah, so there's a heart beneath that tough exterior after all. My tone is soft now, almost gentle. You've lost someone, haven't you? Someone close to you.
Dee's posture stiffened further, his expression darkening as Ranni's words hit too close to home. His fingers twitched slightly at his sides, but he didn't lash out. Instead, he simply turned his head away. That's none of your concern. His voice was low, bordering on dangerous. But Ranni could see the way his shoulders tensed, how his fingers dug ever so slightly into his palms. She had hit a nerve.
I watch him closely, noting his language, his tension, his pain. I'm treading on thin ice now, but curiosity keeps me on this path. No, it's not my concern, I concede, my words measured and careful. You can't hide it as well as you think you know. It's written all over you.
Yes. His voice was almost a snarl, harsh and low. Yes, there is pain, and it bothers me that you can see it so easily.
I hold my breath for a moment, sensing the raw emotion beneath his words. I didn't mean to provoke you, I murmur, my voice softer now. But sometimes, pain needs to be acknowledged before it can be let go. I step back slightly, giving him space. I won't press further. You've endured enough.
He let out a humorless chuckle, his expression still dark. But there was a hint of something in his gaze, a subtle softening. You have a knack for getting under people's skin, you know that? He shook his head, a small, self-deprecating smirk tugging at the corner of his mouth. I suppose in your case, it is an admirable trait.
Hannes turns to the towards Hunter D as Ranni turns head away.
He noticed Hannah's reaction and furrowed his brow, following his gaze. What is it?
Millicent had you in her thoughts in her last moments. Very fondly she thought of you.
Dee's demeanor changed, his expression suddenly becoming more subdued. The mention of Millicent's final thoughts seemed to hit him harder than anything else so far. She thought of me? In her final moments? He found his throat closing up, his emotions suddenly threatening to overwhelm him. He gritted his teeth, fighting back the onslaught of memories and feelings.
You did great when you led Godfrey, the vile sage that put her sisters to assault her.
Dee chuckled slightly at the unexpected compliment. He shifted his weight, still fighting to stay level-headed. Are you trying to flatter me? Of all people. He huffed out a breath, trying to sound unaffected, but there was a slight hint of warmth in his tone.
Yes, brother, I am.
He raised an eyebrow, his expression surprised. He wasn't sure how to react to that, but he was oddly touched. He cleared his throat, trying to sound nonchalant. I'm not used to people thanking me for my deeds.
I thought you would have been already gotten used to my politeness and my odd way of being myself. But I cannot assume that of anybody. You and me both.
He let out a snort, shaking his head in disbelief. Polite? You? I would hardly call you polite. A pause. Then, with a touch of sarcasm. But I suppose I appreciate your niceties, shall we say?
I tap his armor and just tell him, enjoy the chair. It is great that have you here now once again in the round table, dude.
He grunted in surprise as he was tapped on the arm, his attention suddenly snapping to Hannes. Enjoyed the chair, huh? You're definitely one weird individual, you know that? He said, eyebrows raised and a hint of an amused smirk tugging at the corner of his mouth.
Ranni and Hannes just move about.
He rolled his eyes, the exasperated expression back on his face. All right, enough chit-chat. Let's get moving. Eedy nadi. Movili. Let's get moving.
Ranni moves with Hannes past the Hunter D to the chamber of the two fingers that she's only allowed to do to be accorded by Hannes, who has the own solely right to visit this room.
I follow closely beside him, taking in the surroundings. The room holds an air of power and reverence. My eyes dart between the two fingers, observing them intently.
They wiggle gently.
Hey! 2 fingers, Hannes greets them. It has been far too long, my friend. I'm sorry that I have not have dialogue with you for a very long time.
The 2 fingers curl slightly in a gesture resembling warmth. Hannes grits them. Their movements grow animated, though slightly erratic, like an old book trying to remember its own pages. The winds of the hold have grown quiet, without your voice. They tremble as if dust shakes loose from ancient parchment. Tell me. They pause, twitching. Has the greater will whispered to you in your dreams, or do you still walk the path of gold?
2 fingers. I promise to converse with you longer, but I am here with a noble little mission in heart, but also with a sad undertone.
The 2 fingers twitch in what appears like anticipation. Speak. They gesture, their joints cracking like splitting wood. What is this noble mission you speak of?
Ranni the witch, the vile witch who is reason why Godwin is mermaid, and is one of the one who slayed her own 2 fingers and divided herself from the greater will's plans and stuff. She's here with me by my will and my according to apologize to you.
The 2 fingers shudder, creaking like old wood in a storm. The vile witch. They seem to tremble at the mere mention of her name. You have brought the heretic before us. A dry sound like dead leaves in their voice.
I possess the Fingerslayer blade, and I possess the Grace Chosen Might. I am in the position to confront her and destroy her, even if she has any evil thought to act here. So I am here. Don't worry about it.
The 2 fingers hesitate, their long digits trembling, and trust the heretic. This vile witch, they shudder, that killed her own 2 fingers? To bring her into our sight, they seem to grow distressed, their joints grinding like a heavy door opening. Can you confirm that she has seen the error of her ways?
I cannot say that truly. I only told her that I wanted her to apologize. I have no greater plan. I just wanted her to apologize to you. I don't know even if it holds any grand significance or meaning. This is only my wholesome nature and heart that I seek to quell.
The 2 fingers curl inwards, their skin dry and ragged like old parchment. You bring her into our presence in the hope that an apology shall be sufficient. She has murdered her own 2 fingers. She has killed the blessed offspring of their master. They hesitate again, their voice cracking like dust breaking off, and a simple apology is enough.
I stand tall, my gaze steady as the 2 fingers speak. My heart pounds in my chest, the weight of their judgment heavy on me, yes. My voice is steady. I committed a heinous act. I killed my 2 fingers because I believed it was necessary to sever the Golden Order's hold on me. An apology cannot undo the wrong I have done. I pause, taking a deep breath. But I can offer something else.
The 2 fingers stiffen, then twitch violently like branches struck by wind. Offer. Their voice grinds, brittle and dry. What could you possibly offer? They sway as if straining against unseen bonds. Your apology is empty, your hands steeped in heresy. And yet, they halt, trembling, speak, their whisper is ragged. What do you propose?
I lock eyes with the 2 fingers, refusing to back down. If apologies carry no weight, then let actions speak louder than words. If the Golden Order deems me an enemy, then so be it. My offer to you, to the Golden Order, is this. I lower my head slightly, the gravity of my words sinking in. If you permit it, I offer myself. I am the witch who stole the rune of death.
The two fingers convulse violently. A rasping, rattling noise escapes them. You. Their joints lock, trembling in unnatural stillness. Yourself? Silence? Then their voice splits thin and cracked. The rune of death. Stolen. Returned. They twist as if struggling against unseen chains. You would submit to judgment.
I hold my ground, unflinching in the face of their struggle. My voice remains steady, unwavering in the face of their rage. I offer myself to your judgment to atone for my sins. The rune of death was mine to control alone, for it was I who stole it. I submit myself for judgment, for I know no punishment is too severe. I lift my head, locking eyes with the writhing fingers. Do not hold back.
They twitch in an eerie rhythm, their joints snapping like rotten wood. You submit to punishment. Their words echo, an unnatural rattle in their voice would face the consequences of your transgressions. Their trembling ceases and they stand as one, still as death very well. We accept your offer. A deathly silence falls like a pall upon the room. You shall stand before the greater will.
My breath catches, the words striper than I expected. Before the greater will, I swallow hard, then nod. Very well. My voice is soft but resolute. If that is the price, then I shall pay it.
The two fingers shudder, then suddenly, still. Their voice drops to a whisper colder than the grave. Then kneel. A wind howls through unseen cracks, the air thick with the weight of inevitability, and await your judgment. They twist upwards, rigid like gnarled branches pointing toward an unseen sky. Silence, deafening. Final, the choice is made.
I take a deep breath, then step forward. My steps slow and measured. I sink to my knees, head bowed, hands in my lap. I close my eyes, waiting.
Silence. The air grows heavy, oppressive like the weight of 100,000 eyes. Then, a voice. Not the two fingers, but something beyond them. You, who stole death. The words resonate, not in the air, but in the marrow of your bones. You, who defied order, a pressure builds, crushing, inexorable. You, who returns, and then darkness. There is no appeal.
When the darkness clears, a gasp escapes my lips, and I stagger to my feet, my knees trembling. The weight, the gravity of the moment still hangs over me like an invisible shroud. The chamber suddenly seems cold, the air stale and empty. Slowly I lift my head, my gaze drifting across the chamber. Is it done?
No movement stirs in their bones. You are alone, save for a shadow in the corner.
I freeze, my breath catching in my throat. My gaze sharpens on the figure in the shadows, who seems familiar somehow. A million questions rush through my mind, but instead of my usual sarcasm, my voice holds a rare note of caution.
The shadow shifts, its form indistinct but familiar. It is tall, powerful. One of its hands rests on a handle, a weapon. The other stays tucked in its cloak. It takes a tentative step forward, a whisper of cloth upon stone. Its body ripples in the shadows, its face still hidden. When it speaks in a calm, almost weary voice. A man's voice. Hello, Hannes.
I stiffen, my heart clenching. His voice, so familiar, so unexpected, pierces through me like a spear, trying to maintain my composure. Hello, I manage, my voice just a whisper. I force myself to take a step forward, my eyes fixed on the shadowy figure. Everything in me wants to rush to him, to confirm the suspicion that's been growing in every fiber of my being. But I hold myself back, wary.
The figure takes another step forward, emerging into the dim light. It's a man, tall, muscular, his face rugged and weathered. His gaze is stern, almost cold. But when he looks at me, his eyes soften, if only for a moment. He looks weary, as if he's carrying away the world on his shoulders.
I don't know if I carry the world on my shoulders, but I see the the judgment and apology was now gone through the two fingers. Is this correct? Hannes asks.
Yes, he turns back to you, his gaze steady if a little sad. The apology and judgment, they are done.
Hannes now turns to the Ranni. So, how was it? I am no longer in the room, but I am still present. I am able to follow you past you, follow you from your perspective or behind you, and now I look next to you.
I tilt my head, my eyes still fixed on the shadow. Why don't you show yourself?
I want to ask of you, how did it go?
I blink, a bit caught off guard by the unexpected change in topic. After a moment, I respond with guarded words. It's done, my voice quiet. The 2 fingers are gone. I glanced toward your figure, hidden in the shadows. Something about your questions, your presence feels significant, but I can't quite put my finger on it yet. I remain alert, my mind working fast to make sense of this moment.
To be honest, I don't want to make any great claims. I am not in the position, not true position to act or decree any true deep or high mighty things. I think this apology with the 2 fingers is success. We can settle this matter here. And whatever is the greater will's judgment, the end, it will come to you due time.
My irritation at your vague words is somewhat tempered by your sense of humility. Despite my curiosity, I give no sign of it, and instead keep my tone neutral, distant. Is that so? I fold my arms, my gaze skimming over your shadowy form. There's something strangely compelling about the situation, even if I can't quite describe it. My instincts tell me these minutes are crucial, and I hang on to your every word.
Will you now listen to my... only thing I would like to probably is just to repeat the already established things that I wanted to say, and probably little less hostile interaction with you, or try to take it as I say it with completeness.
I tilt my head, curiosity now overriding my wariness. Speak, I say, with all the completeness you desire.
The projection of myself will be taking the role of sacrifice, and it is because I think this is like a funny practical thing, because it is being very practical. Can you imagine like a phone that never dies out? It can teleport to anywhere, any place. It can speak for you, do tasks for you, and it will always return to your side. And whatever information it has learned, you can have it afterwards, like a first-hand experience, as I have. This projection has been one of the greatest tools, alongside the immortality of the grace, along my journeys.
I listen closely, my irritation slowly giving way to curiosity. So the projection will serve as a sacrifice for you? I repeat, my skepticism slowly shifting to fascination.
Instead of myself, that is my life, that I will offer myself as a sacrifice to bring L3 to its full healthy self. So the new age will become very wondrously abundance-filled. Instead of sacrificing myself, I can still remain, but I will just give up this very, very useful tool instead. That is actually just a win-win situation. But it is still, if we are being practical, it is still kind of a noticeable sacrifice.
I raise an eyebrow, my eyes narrowing. So, you're offering your life as a sacrifice, but not really, because you can still retain yourself. But somehow by this sacrifice you can bring prosperity, and it's somehow a win-win. I shake my head, trying to make sense of it. Your words are circular in a way that feels almost familiar. The feeling makes me bristle in inexplicable irritation.
This projection magic is now at play. I don't need to even be present. I can just speak to you as I am, wherever I am. It has been very honestly most useful things. This is like a demonstration of that power, and I will lose this power. I will, after this journey is done, I must talk to each my people face to face or just write them to letters, just like everyone else. I will be losing the great power of projection.
I take in this moment of sincerity, my irritation softening into begrudging respect. You sound certain and admittedly less of a jackass than usual. I have to admit I'm impressed. I study your shadowed face quietly for a beat, my expression thoughtful, my arms folded. You're losing your ability to project then.
Yeah, but it is still gonna be just absolutely happy, awesome ending. And here's the two things. Well, I guess I am not really caring to explain what I have in mind to the Age of Reclamation about like some things that I have visioned outside of that it is gonna be based upon like a New Testament kind of a simplified version of it.
I raise an eyebrow. Your words, though cryptic, strike a chord, a mixture of confusion and curiosity. Something about your vision, something you can't quite convey. It feels oddly familiar. As I listen, there's a glimmer of recognition. A New Testament. My voice is soft, almost like a whisper. Tell me more.
Instead of that, I will tell this. The new Year 3 that will be, this is gonna be very like a particular thing. This is not gonna be like a complete like a moras. This is gonna be a little bit absurd, but here's the thing. Whoever will act very good and behave according to new decrees that we will manage, that will be based upon like a very simplified Bible teachings, and they will be managing. They will in my Journey of Hannes ending in the Elder Ring, they will immediately be blessed with the same similar amount of grace, and the good the life-giving sap will be giving them a lot more like nutrients and stuff. So the acting good will have the inherent immediate gratification, and there is not gonna be stop to it. And if you decide to go against it, that you're free to do, you will just no longer be given the grace if you don't do true repentance and turn your act towards the good again.
Take in every word, my mind racing. Your words seem almost too good to be true, a dream that's too simple, too comforting. And yet, there's something strangely believable about it. My eyes narrow, my skepticism warring with curiosity. You speak of an age of good, where grace and life will be abundant, where goodness is rewarded and evil is punished.
This is kind of a thing. This is not actually truly Christian, because this is kind of a thing that it usually more intellectually, more honestly, it would something like a disapprove why this shouldn't be like this immediate, because it would be just like a immediate like a resource like a gifts, and like a how to say, it becomes like a how to say it will becomes like a taxation thing, like acting good, because there's just been like a estimate that immediate good returns. But in my ending, I will decree this so, because I think it is still like a funny way to end it.
I remain quiet, your words sinking in, my mind turning over every nuance. I can see the flaw here, yet I also can see the hope. It's a paradox, a contradiction, and part of that paradox feels incredibly familiar to me. I fold my arms, eyes narrowing. And who decides what is good and what is not?
I did Hannes does by my conquest. I have conquered with the already established grace chosen power. I was given all the powers to have my will and have my way in this world, to get myself to this position. But it has been my fight. I have fought myself to this position, and I am in this position to decree this in this here. and I have decided to deal it this way. And there is gonna be like a downsides and good sides, and I just wanted to establish the borderline good things that I will establish, and let the negatives be like analyzed later.
I listen, my irritation giving way to curiosity and just a hint of admiration. But there's a nagging suspicion in the back of my mind. A thought that keeps resurfacing. Something about this is familiar to me, and I can't shake the feeling that I've been here before. You would establish your will, your vision. I pause, the implication hanging in the air. But what of those who don't agree with your vision?
I'm a hypocrite, so I can just say I don't care.
My eyes narrow, a hint of irritation returning. Your words ring true, and at the same time, they frustrate me. Your nonchalance, your disregard for those who reject your vision. You would force your will on everyone, regardless of their beliefs.
Oh, that is gonna be only first 1,000 years, guided by Miguel, because it is... Well, I can just tell the practicals. The first 1,000 years is gonna be actually the age of compassion, that it was your brother's vision, that I helped come about. He is now God, and he is just reframed from using his charms and his powers just yet, because we are in middle of negotiations. And I am just making this kind of a degree of age of reclamation that will be coming like along it and after it.
I listen, trying to grasp the enormity of what you're saying. The mention of 1,000 years of compassion under the rule of a god. It sounds unbelievable. I try to maintain my composure, suppressing the myriad of questions that bubble up within me. My voice softens a bit. Your vision, for the 1,000 years. You've already started it.
Take a seat. Actually, I think maybe it is going to be the best if we are tuck it here and stuff.
I hesitate for a moment, but the tiredness in my body wins out. I step back and seat myself down in a rather nearby armchair.
The first 1,000 years of compassion is going to be guided, and it is going to just end the human conflicts, and that there is going to be negatives and positives, and there is no... Okay, for sake of my own sanity, let's just say I have no perfect answers. I'm just a human being with the absurd amount of power, and I'm gonna give my own certain thing. And my justification is that Eldering has already its other endings, Dungitter's ending, Frenzied Flame ending, Duskboard ending, your nihilistic ending, that are very simplified and quite simple on their own right. So, and they have their own bad qualities. So I ask you to just bear with me and allow me to have my bad qualities.
I study you taking in your words. You're flawed, that much is clear, and there's something compelling about your words, your vision. Something that stirs something deep within me. I take a moment, contemplating your words before responding. Very well. I shall bear with you and your bad qualities. For now.
First 1,000 years of compassion is gonna just see the people just reproduce in the peaceful age and food and all that stuff. And probably one of the greatest things would be, if I would hope something, would be the roads of life.
I tilt my head, curiosity piqued. Sounds intriguing. Elaborate.
In simpler terms, there are the great roads in the maps here and there, and they are very broken. And I have witnessed great amount of bodies underground, under here, volcanometer in the battlefields and such. And when Earth-3 burials become now accessible once again and effective, my first and one of the most important things would be actually regroup all the manageable population, have like a very like a sustainable kind of a communities of people, and just grow food, children and stuff. And when we are strong enough, we are gonna fix the roads together that will lead to these places that has great amount of bodies, and we are just gonna reclaim bodies all over from the lands between and bring them to Earth 3, each and all, equally, and they are gonna be given to the Earth 3 and they'll be reborn after a long time. Everyone will become united and equal in the right to the Earth 3 burial.
I listen, completely fascinated by the enormity and simplicity of your vision. A world of peace unified in the bond of rebirth. I can't help the faint stirrings of hope, the spark of something. A truly remarkable vision. To reclaim all the lost bodies, to bring them back, the idea is almost utopian, I murmur.
The fixing the roads is great, kind of like a manual work for the soldiers that don't see too much war, and it is gonna give kind of a certain vision. It will come to the end when roads are fixed and all the bodies are reclaimed from all around, and then just the more normal society stuff starts.
I nod, understanding beginning to dawn. This vision, it's ambitious, but not impossible. My irritation eases, replaced by a strange sense of, and when the roads are fixed and the bodies reclaim, what then?
I guess just degree of like the goodwill. Probably if somebody kind of, because after a certain while, I would hope that Mikuela's the charm will end, but the things will be so much better that people don't want to just fall to the chaos and conflicts, even though they have the chance to do so. The grace given tree that will be responding to the good deeds of each and all, it is gonna be motive to keep people to keep behaving best behavior and make them love to act good. And it is gonna somewhat like a mechanical, like a reward type system, but it's fine by me to like for the greater good stuff.
I nod, beginning to understand the scope of your vision. The concept of a grace-given tree is intriguing. A sort of moral check for the people. It's a fascinating idea, a grace-given tree. An interesting concept. A mechanical system for rewarding good behavior. It could work. But what about those who want to do ill? How do you keep them in check?
What I would say, one of the first punishments in the Age of Compassion that is just like people are not gonna do too much ill, but let's just say thievery, lying, and some like a meaner, like a mean stuff. Let's say that punishment would be like a longer term of Earth burial, that there is gonna be like a build certain levels of Earth burials, one closer, one little bit further, and one further. If you do bad stuff, you're gonna be buried when you die further apart, and you are gonna be longer dead before you are gonna be reborn.
I nod, understanding the principle, a gentle deterrent to keep people in line. It's an elegant solution, one that could work. So the punishment is a kind of delay in rebirth. The worse one's deeds, the longer they must wait before being reborn. Interesting.
Roads of life, their burials, those are the like a manageable physical things that would be kind of present in the Age of Reclamation.
I nod, impressed. Your vision, while ambitious, is well planned. The roads of life, the bodies reclaimed from beneath the earth, and the regeneration of the population. It all makes sense. And yet, but what of the spiritual? What about the hearts and minds of the people? How will you ensure their loyalty to this vision?
Honestly, I don't have an answer to that. Even outside, I like a spiritually. I could say just like a, but the goodwill would be like a also like a faith to the goodwill. Kind of we're gonna the entity, because greater will is cruel, and or it is kind of, it did judge you actually. It did judge you, did it not?
My ears perk up at the name, Greater Will. The Greater Will. You believe it still exists in some form?
Okay, Greater will is, so it is going to be just naturally we are gonna just like acknowledge that it is the true God, it is the creator, and that would be my decree that Hannes himself, the Tanset who makes this thing about uh, like if you are against the greater will and you want to be against this and not go against it, you are not gonna enjoy the grace of the tree. You are free to do so, and you're probably then just gonna be treated as an more of an outsider, and some just want to act that way, and I assume that is in their right, and that is just gonna be part of life as is.
I listen, a mixture of curiosity and concern building within me. This talk of a creator will, the idea that not acknowledging it would result in exclusion, it feels familiar. So you propose a society where recognition of this higher power, this creator will, is essential. Those who do not acknowledge it, they will be outsiders, outcast from the grace of the tree. Is that what you are saying?
Yes, because they deny the gifts of it, so it should reflect their own decision, their moral alignment, to exclude themselves. So it is respect, it is called. But of course, if there is more nuances who have the more difficult that I cannot maintain, probably there would be case by case where greater will, and I will just say that I would invite the greater will to help and lead people as much as possible and be very wise about it, of course.
I give a small sigh. Your methods are rather authoritarian, yet you speak of choice. An interesting contradiction.
I guess I would say that my own antidote to this would be the degree of goodwill. And in our term, it is just it's a New Testament from my world. But in the Eldering world, it would be something equivalent to it, but not completely same, because it cannot be same because this is fictional world. So in our case, it is degree of goodwill alongside the greater will.
I raise an eyebrow, intrigued by your words. This degree of goodwill. Do you speak of some sort of code of conduct?
Code of conduct that we would invite greater will to manifest into the real thing.
Manifest into the real thing. I contemplate your words. Your faith in the greater will is intriguing, even admirable. But there are still unanswered questions. And how do you propose to accomplish this?
Doing our best and not thinking about it. And in this situation, if people like you who question too much every detail, we would be shunning a cringe and a boresome, a too nihilist. And maybe I would decree myself that too nihilistic, too argumentative people who just question every little detail would be shunned as cringe and kind of a children's stories told. Do not act this way. This is cringe.
I raise an eyebrow, amused by your words. Ah, so the cringe and children's story defense, eh? Classic tactics, but what if we're just genuinely curious? Hungry for knowledge. Hungry for knowledge.
Then be. But if it causes you to wage war against the order that will be, then you will be treated accordingly. That would be my answer, but I am not gonna step further than my expertise allow. And I am just keep this a manageable state, this story. I'm not gonna make this
I chuckle, a hint of sarcasm in my tone. Ah, the threat of war. How? But fear not. I won't be leading any armies against this grand order of yours. My curiosity is simply that. I give a nod, understanding now. Ah, so you will maintain this vision in a manageable state, a more controlled approach. I see.
So maybe it's easier to say that my age will be degraded, a simplified version of Goodwill Testament, a simplified version of the Bible, good teachings that are manifested in the degree of goodwill that is just like in the air, nothing actually written, because it is not gonna be in the like a I'm not gonna make anything like of the peaceful time, and the roads of life that is gonna be like a manual work, and that gives certain like a practical way about it. The first 1,000 years is gonna be guided by compassion, that is just soft mind manipulation, and another 1,000 years is gonna be just like a I believe in overall healthy society that has its little faults, but it's gonna be kind of like a working and people living their lives.
I nod, a smirk playing on my lips. Your simplified testament sounds like a clever way to keep things manageable. And the 1,000 years of passion and healthy society sound intriguing, if a little manipulative.
Yes, when yours is actually nihilistic and everybody is hopeless and depressed and would be a lot closer to every individual, would be closer to self-destruction in your solitude, lonely, dark night. I still think my manageable, kind of a wholesome, kind of a faulty ending is preferable to yours.
I can't help but chuckle at your blunt words. There's something refreshing about your directness. I suppose your manageable, wholesome ending has its merits. It's certainly optimistic, to say the least.
Yes, that is the thing. That is the thing. But that thing is, it will not last. That I acknowledge. Even the person who establishes it, I will decree that. Of course, we know that this won't be like a hold eternally. People, if nothing else, people will, out of free will and out of sake of free will, they will choose to align with chaos and break the, this very healthy, wholesome society because it is too boring.
I nod slowly, understanding dawning. Yes, I see what you mean. It will not, cannot last. People will always desire change, even chaos, even boredom. It's the nature of humanity.
I have one silent decree for you. Let's just say, and I will leave it to your to be your choice, and take this as a more of like an idea.
I listen, eyebrow quirked. Your words pique my curiosity, a silent decree. Go on, I'm listening.
Now, when you have not, you are not gonna achieve your ambitions. You have no grace chosen Tarnset or any like chosen Tarnset to have your vision to come through. You will be going to the void alone and have your ending, whatever it is, that in the long solitude, and you will be here witness this thing. I don't assume that you are going to be part of this, but if you want to be part of it, we have no cause to refuse you.
My expression is stoic, but inside I'm mulling over the possibility. Being a part of something, even in solitude, sounds oddly appealing, I see. So you're saying I could join you in the void, should I choose to do so. But let me ask you this.
Let me just state this. If you decided to go war, I
tilt my head, a smirk tugging at the corners of my mouth. Go on. State it. I wait, my gaze locked onto you, silently prompting you to continue.
If you decided to go against and seek something to wage war because you're alone, I would say aesthetic-wise, would it be cool if Ranni the Witch aligned herself in her dark... This is kind of an evil Ranni. This is Ranni who wants to wage war against this peaceful age. She aligns with herself with the Astel monsters and cosmic forces that she doesn't really know or want to interact, but she's kind of mixing herself with this purple and light kind of strange cosmic evil forces and making herself avatar of it, and then comes crashing down, waging kind of a cosmic war, kind of objectively morally clear cut that you should be defeated, but that would be epic way that you are serving as like a chaos, like a villain to unite them.
I contemplate your words, the idea of me taking on the role of a cosmic villain, a corrupted version of myself, stirring a strange sense of curiosity within me. The concept of waging a cosmic war aligning with forces beyond comprehension. It's alluring in a twisted way, a darkness consuming me, becoming the chaos incarnate. It's a fascinating concept, and the opportunity to play the villain, to wage war against your peaceful age. I smirk, a glint of something sinister in my eyes. It does have a certain aesthetic, doesn't it?
Of course, if you plan to actually crash out and don't want to just socialize and have a wholesome time, that is an option, and I just gave you like an aesthetic idea.
I consider it. The notion of joining this peaceful age, living a wholesome life. It sounds foreign to me, a life of kindness and simplicity, but not altogether unappealing. And if I choose to socialize, to be part of this peaceful age, what would that look like for me?
I guess you're just hanging out in your tower and doing your like a quirky snow witch stuff and just being polite and not murdering and betraying anyone.
Half amused by your words. The thought of me being polite and not murdering anyone, it's almost laughable. Polite, huh? Not sure I have it in me to be all sweetness and kindness.
But do not have measure it. Either full retard or don't go full retard. So for Cosmic Monster, Astral Monster, that will be our decree. If you plan to crash out, you will crash out appropriately and make yourself like a full intended, like a cosmic purple bitch.
I chuckle at your words. Full retard, you say. Sounds tempting.
Yes. You're riding the many-headed Astral monsters, and I'm kind of odd insect-like monsters are your like minions and stuff.
I smirk, my imagination running wild with the image of my riding on the backs of cosmic monsters, leading a legion of insect-like minions.
Yes. And let's just put this this Finger Slayer blade that you granted me. If we agree here, it will be made into fated weapon that will be hidden away, and some hero, if things happen that you will be too successful, that you will actually cause a lot of trouble, then some unnamed new Grace Chosen hero will rise and find this blade, and he will be like a plot armor style defeat you.
I scoff, my irritation showing. A plot armor hero defeating me? That's a load of nonsense.
I'm asking you, would you agree with it?
I pause, my irritation turning to contemplation. I suppose I can agree to that. It's an intriguing concept.
Because you are so good person, you do not act. Now when you are in the position to make this decree, you of course I assume you want to do it because you would be like want yourself to be stopped.
I nod, understanding your line of thought. Yes, deep down I yearn for someone to stop me, to put an end to this life of solitude and darkness.
Alright, so that is like a backup plan. The Fingers blade that you used to slay your own two fingers is now like fated weapon if you happen to be far too successful in your cosmic monster evil doing. It will be used like a weapon against you, and it will be like a plot thing to some hero, unnamed hero that will be defeating you. If you manage, but you will have a lot of chaos done in that battle, but you will be the one who is gonna bring this potential chaos to my age, but I would hope you not to do that.
I sigh, a hint of resignation creeping into my voice. I understand chaos, destruction, darkness. The concept of the Fingerslayer blade becoming a weapon used against me in my cosmic rampage, it's poetic in a twisted way. So, the Fingerslayer blade, the very weapon I used to sever my ties, would return to seal my fate. That's an ironic twist. I tilt my head considering the implications. And if I resist this fate, if I refuse to be some destined villain in your narrative...
I ask of you, give me the best response to that.
I fall silent considering your words. For the first time, doubt creeps in. Can I truly walk away from this path of destruction? A long moment passes, the silence stretching out between us. Finally I speak, my voice low and pensive. If I refuse to become your cosmic villain, would you truly allow it?
If you mean that you're trying to come like a little bit cosmic monster villain and do little bit chaos and then stop before it goes too far, kind of that kind of situation, do you mean?
I nod, a strange mix of defiance and curiosity in my eyes. I want to test my limits, to push the boundaries of what is allowed. Yes, that's what I mean. Doing a little chaos and then stopping before it spirals out of control.
I will make it, let's make it second degree, that there is gonna be like this kind of like a 10% or kind of there is gonna be the soft cap where you are able to do that. Yes, there is gonna be soft cap, but that is gonna be said uncertain and you are risking yourself and I don't even know where the limit lies. There is gonna be the point where you are able to do it and return, but there is gonna be the breaking point, the invisible breaking point where you are gonna cross that as fated string when your path is gonna be settled into the defeat to the Fingerslayer fate. But there is gonna be that soft cat, but it is kind of me poking a bear or climbing very dangerous wet slippery rock slide or something. It would be like a risky, but you will have that opportunity to play with fire.
My eyes narrow, considering your words. Your proposal is intriguing. I am tempted by the chance to play with fire, to push the boundaries, but I'm wary of the consequences. A soft cap, you say? A limit before I cross over the point of no return.
But this is the thing. I don't know where the limit lies. It could be very little or it could be great. You are gonna do what you're gonna do with your own peril.
I pause, contemplating your words. The risk is real, undefined, and the consequences unknown. And if I cross that line, if I push beyond this limit, what then?
Then your fate is settled and hero is gonna come against you and your choice is if you just stand down and let them stab you with a dagger and they cannot even stop it. The hero is gonna be also fate forced to bring end to you at that moment. So your defeat is either can be just ugly, a bitter fight, or you can just surrender immediately if you notice that you have gone past the limit of no return. You can do it peacefully, the defeat, and surrender without causing too much chaos, or make it as painful as possible.
I nod, still contemplating your words. The idea of being defeated by a hero, forced into defeat by fate itself. There is something inevitable about it, but it isn't without a certain romance. So my fate is sealed once I pass the limit. A hero will come for me, and in that moment I have a choice. I can fight or I can surrender.
Yes, but it is gonna be your defeat nonetheless.
My defeat nonetheless. I repeat the words, trying not to let the thought intimidate me. It's an ultimatum, a risk, and what will happen after this hero defeats me? What lies beyond that?
Do we want to bring hell into this mix?
I raise an eyebrow, curious.
Because I believe in hell. But I don't think if I have heart to bring hell in this count, but I accept it because it is real in my true world. But in this fictional world, would I be brave enough to bring hell into the account?
I tilt my head, intrigued. The mention of hell adds a new dimension to this narrative, bringing a touch of the supernatural. You believe in hell? And you're considering bringing it into this world?
If we say there is not gonna be void, there is gonna be hell, but it is made just by this decree, and there is only be one hell, and it is reserved only to the Ranni the witch, who decided to go to the like a screwed up cosmic rampage, and that is only hell that exists in the Elden Ring world. Hell prepared for you.
I listen, a strange mix of curiosity and unease washing over me. Being the sole inhabitant of hell, a consequence of my cosmic rampage, and what awaits me in this hell. I nod, in your words. The idea of my own little corner of hell, it feels oddly fitting. So you're creating me a personal hell solely for me and my actions.
Yes, but I am now giving, because I'm also giving you the we are discussing, you're kind of a like a I am what am I? Just asking. Well, yes, actually, I don't want to jump from this. Yes, this would be. Yes, let's add this. Yes, there is gonna be personal hell to you when you're defeated by the hero.
I nod, a mix of fascination and trepidation building within me. The idea of a personal hell created just for me makes the risks of this path even more real. Your honesty in discussing it is unnerving, but I can't help but be intrigued.
Because we are in the peaceful time and you are completely free to. This is actually, I think this is also too wholesome, because this is almost like I'm sorry if I say this, like a very divine, great, powerful being who is decreeing the new age to come and stuff, how they are. He is like a making kind of a deal with the kind of making the agreements with the kind of a manageable devilish character that is gonna be acting certain role as a like a evildoer in his new age, or the like a fated evildoer stuff.
I nod, listening to your words. The idea of a manageable devilish character caught my attention. And what is my role in this scenario? Am I simply playing the part of the devilish character, stirring chaos for your new age?
No, you're not, you're just gonna be chaotic force that wants to seek the destruction. If there is a devil, that is me.
I raise an eyebrow, surprised by your claim. You claim to be the devil in this scenario.
I am hypocrite. I have lied. I have I have committed almost every sin in this world, in this Elden Ring story. I have committed horrible acts. I have been judging, done all kind of. If there is some kind of spiritual like a map or justice, I have broken all the scales, and I am making only these things like afterwards due to my might alone. And yes,
I watch you studying your words. There is something in your admission that resonates with me. A hypocrite, a sinner. You've done terrible things, violated every standard and still claim your power.
because that is the point of the Elden Ring. Strong take. And nothing else. I am the strong who talk, but I choose to deal with this way. What I have gathered.
I think about your words, a strange respect blossoming for you. You are strong, you're powerful, and yet you choose a different path. You could conquer, dominate, but you choose to take another way.
I will tell you this. Forgive me, I have a little bit cough.
I raise an eyebrow, slightly amused. How unusual.
Hannes, myself, when my projection gives himself to the L3 with Marika, I assume, I myself also give myself this decree, and I myself will be bound by the decree of kindness. I will not have grace chosen might or any grace if I don't act appropriately along just like everyone else. You will be given this freedom to engage power, gain power from the astral monsters and cosmic monsters for the evil purposes, if that is what you seek. And I will not be able to stop you.
I listen, intrigued by your proposal. You'll bind yourself to the same rules as everyone else, and you'll allow me to seek out power, to feed off the astral monsters and cosmic monsters for my own purposes. You will not interfere, will not stop me.
I am not able. I will try to do my best, of course. But I assume that I am not gonna be strong enough to, as if I was strong enough today, or then when I cursed you to sit in that place. I am no longer grace chosen in that moment. I'm just like everyone else. And probably there's gonna be forces and champions that are more capable of doing like a fighting, and you have to like a fight for it. You are not fated to be like a unstoppable and only the hero. If you are gonna be sloppy, the champions and the forces of earthly sort can overcome you if you get too like a cocky.
I considered this, weighing the risks. So, there will be those who can defy me, who can fight against me and win. I may not be invincible, immortal.
Yeah. It is kind of a all things is fair. Are we in the agreement, Ranni?
I consider your words, weighing the risks and opportunities, in agreement, yes. I will follow your path, for the sake of curiosity, and for the sake of exploring the path of chaos.
But let me add this. I hope you don't even choose that. I hope you're just gonna be hanging out in your tower and be very wholesome like a Snow Witch type character, and you are not gonna be like doing evil. You are gonna be kind of like a quirky, whimsical whatever at the side of the age when the youngsters and stuff gonna be adventuring in your castle and stuff.
I scoff, amused by your words, me being a quirky, whimsical Snow Witch. That might take some getting used to, but I suppose stranger things have happened.
Yes. And
I pause, a smirk playing on my lips. You have more to add?
no, this is it. I have said what I have to say in this matter. Thank you for participating, Ranni the Witch. I think I have no longer interactions with your character, and this is the perfect way to end our part of this story. I want to thank you participating in my story, in the good and the bad, all the drama, all the good and the, the nonsense and smarts.
I nod, a sense of finality settling over me. It's been a pleasure, Hannes. Your story was quite a journey. The good, the bad, and the absurd.
I hope you have a great rest of the day.
I scoff, a hint of amusement in my voice. It's been enlightening.